And when I said to the mayor, that's not a 50 feet of cards puzzle, that's my wife! Imagine, a murder in this very house. It brings a chill to my spine, it does.
Can you feel your spine?
You're a detective, are you not?
No, I'm a professor of archaeology.
Don't worry and find the monster who did this.
I'm not a trained detective.
Get used to it.
I am no detective. Just because I'm a professor of archaeology does not mean I can detect things.
Well, Layton, if defense attorneys are basically kind of detectives in this universe anyway, why not archaeologists at this point?
Get used to it, Professor.
Because they're entirely different things.
I don't think can you...
My sentiments is exactly.
Yes, Roy?
I don't think Can You Feel Your Spine has the same ring as Can You Feel the Sunshine.
I just don't understand it. Someone could be right, but he wasn't the type to be hated. The criminal was after my brother's fortune. I could very well be this fiend's next target.
Sure.
Oh, someone thinks highly of himself.
You have a point.
Well, he kind of does have a point. Remember, he's a brother of the Baron, meaning he's an heir. The less heirs, the more money for him, now wouldn't it?
Good gracious, you don't think I do something like this now?
Well, motive.
You do have a motive, but yeah, that doesn't necessarily prove anything.
Seven and I got along very well, I'll have you know. He wasn't very close to Augustus' voice.
You say that, but can you prove it?
You know, all this talk of families has me contemplating a puzzle I once heard.
Wait, hang on a minute. 1 minute you want me to go on post-haste to find your brother's kill, and now all of a sudden you want me to solve puzzles.
Bickering brothers.
Yes, bickering brothers. 6 brothers have gathered around a table to eat dinner. Let's call them brothers 1 to 6, with 1 being the eldest and 6 the youngest. Each of the brothers is prone to fighting with the siblings directly above and below him in age, and can't be seated next to either of them. Also, brothers 3 and 5 got into an argument the other day, and refused to sit next to each other. Brother 1 has already sat down.
Suck it up, you coward.
Yeah, I was about to say, sounds like you all just need to grow up.
Pretty well.
No one is there to. Is this the beginning of Lord of the Flies? That no one's there to teach his kids discipline.
Also, what the hell kind of family? Also, what the hell kind of family is this? Naming their children after numbers.
Maybe.
Well, this is England, so
this puzzle is relatively easy, but it's still actually a nice one.
It's it's very typical puzzle where you have to make something in a specific order according to the conditions that the puzzle sets out for you. Again, there are multiple variations of this kind of puzzle all over in plenty of magazines for the purpose, newspapers, all that kind of stuff. Again, it's a classic, basically.
And voila.
There you go.
Easy enough.
Ta-da!
Well, here's my guess.
Wait, why is Luke solving this?
Wait, hold on. Why am I solving this one?
Yeah, why is it Luke
Luke?
solving it?
Good job. Sit the boys shown, and there shouldn't be any trouble. The mirror image of this seating arrangement is also a valid answer. Yeah, that's another interesting thing about this puzzle. There's actually 2 different answers
Neat.
For the puzzle.
Finally a meal in peace.
Luke, you're a
Oh yes, so that's the answer.
You'd think they would have fixed that in the remake too.
Thank you for clearing out that puzzle, but we're still no closer to finding Simon's killer.
Because you wasted time!
The professor was too busy drinking tea, so Luke had to do the posing for him.
No. The Welsh person is
I
wrong.
assure you.
He asked me to solve the mystery, but he had me wasting time solving a puzzle, and now he's complaining that we haven't solved the mystery.
I had nothing to do with the murder, so please go out and find it.
Of course, you time-wasting fuck. I understand your position. Because I am a suspect too. A suspect of your murder if you don't shut up.
Professor looking pretty sus to me.
Professor, you're not helping the situation.
Sure,
You can shut up too.
Sure, Dayton was in electrical. Come on, I can vouch.
Alright.
What was that, Deji?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna politely ask you to stop.
Matthew,
Okay.
other than yourself, did you notice any strange characters around the manor at the time of...
Not a soul.
I'm joking.
afraid.
I like Among Us.
This is a murder mystery. It had to be done.
I didn't even know about Master Simon until Inspector Chalmey showed up.
Have you seen how many?
Sorry.
Have you?
Sorry.
Oh.
Where is Simon's body now?
I didn't see this, but I was told that the inspector carried the body out shortly after arriving.
Do you people even have a morgue?
I'm not sure, Joe.
Well, actually, they do have a graveyard, because we know that...
Yeah.
Well, it looks like for the moment we're about to lead this case.
Well, sure. Yes, they have a graveyard, but do they have a morgue?
I don't know. But you know, I found this in the room where Master Sawan's body was discovered.
Oh. What is this?
A cog.
It's a gear.
Or a gear, if you prefer. I'm sorry I have to say I have no idea, but I thought it might be a clue, so I made sure to hold on to it. There you go, Deji.
The cog.
There you go, Deji. That's your first piece of foreshadowing for, you know, the climax, basically.
Amazing! It's a cog so small that one could search the room and miss it.
Can I summon ancient gear golem with this?
Look, it has an engraving, a hammer and a wrench.
Cog discovered. Oh, there you go. It is a cog. There you go. A small cog. Now that you mention it, I know a puzzle about an object that almost fits that
Does the puzzle
description.
have anything to do with this case?
I actually have one. Go ahead, Jova.
What? Are you joking? Yeah, again, a puzzle at a time like this?
You had no problem doing one 2 minutes
It's a bit
ago.
late to start complaining now, to be honest.
Okay. Like I said,
told to do puzzles along the way.
this is again kind of a weird thing about this game in particular. Is like, well, even story-wise, the puzzles feel like they sort of come in and go. Again, it definitely is improved in the sequels, where at the very least the puzzles have to deal with the situation. Some of which have to do with investigating scenes, some of which have to do with opening doorways, pathways, or whatnot here and there. Whereas again, here characters will randomly bring up, "Oh, this reminds you of a puzzle," even at a time where it really is not. The best
again,
Luckily, it's only this game. Though.
Yeah, again, like I said, it's once again, it boils down to the fact that most of the puzzles in this game were already made years before the game itself was even made. And remember, the original idea was to have all of this crap in a menu for you to just solve like that.
Oh yeah. Technically, the whole story and Layton thing were last-minute additions, relatively speaking.
Yeah, relatively speaking. It was only later with the second game that they were actually okay. This time we know exactly what we're going for. Now we can properly plan ahead and make sure the puzzles have more contextual sense, basically. Again, it's one of those cases where, here's the thing, Jova. At the same time, personally, I'm actually okay with them, not completely revamping the whole game. Just a bit because, it is true. Yeah, it would have been nice, I guess, if we could, replace all the puzzles and rewrite the entire script.
I'm not asking for them to replace all the puzzles. I guess I feel like, well, it's okay to keep the puzzles, but maybe I've just had some of these ones that don't have anything to do with the plot be more optional.
Oops.
Too bad. Focus on the relationship between points on the front and back sides of the ship.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I thought he was giving this one to me, so let me get this straight. A Layton for Layton, and I solved it.
Maybe Layton and Luke are, okay, here's my theory. Maybe what happens
Layton
is...
and Luke swapped bodies.
No, here's my theory. What's happening is Layton and Luke are both of them trying to solve the puzzle, and canonically there's one that manages to reach the answer first. Maybe that's how it works.
I think this game was made before they could have more than 2 sprites on the screen.
Maybe Luke is secretly Layton's sock puppet.
Oh, it's interesting you say that.
It's like the image of Nate sitting by himself in the park because no one else can see the yokai.
So yeah, the idea is, where will the black dot be when you flip the shape over? So basically, it's a test of perspective and knowing exactly how flipping an object changes its perspective. But the game, there's even that A and B example that you can see, so you can take a look at how exactly it would work. So
lady and gentlemen, if this keeps going on the way it's going, I am going to do my sworn civic duty as a gentleman and report everyone for obstructing the course of justice. Seriously, we're wasting time. The culprit could be escaping right now.
I don't know, Layton. That seems pretty sus of you.
It's
Dun, dun, dun,
That's what I'd do if I were the cop. Just take advantage of everyone to do pregnancy and sneak off.
Oh, Dwibs. What you described is one of the tactics that killers in Among Us sometimes use.
I love
Relatively
how
speaking.
angry people get when they play that.
well, Jova.
All about that
Also, Jova, since you asked yet, well, technically most of the puzzles in this game are optional. Remember, the game does allow you to choose which to solve and which to not solve, so you can always...
I don't remember, Pedro. Is this the game that introduces the whole roadblock and says
that's right from the beginning.
Complete waste of fucking time, Matthew.
Yes, in total, hold on, Dubs. It's in total, yes, in total, you need to solve 75 puzzles minimum to complete the game. However, it doesn't have to be 75 specific puzzles. You can pick and choose which ones you want to solve. So it's not
that much I don't mind. Oh, okay. When I say that I think certain puzzles should be optional, I mean like puzzles that aren't just smacked in the middle of the story with no rhyme or reason.
Sure.
What I'm saying is like, well, just have them be, one of the puzzles that we can go to later at a time. Like, don't get me wrong, it's funny, but it really does feel a bit narratively confusing that characters will literally stop it just for a random puzzle that has nothing to do with the plot. And again, I get it. They sort of had to make do with what they had, so they tailor-made a story around it, so maybe they couldn't completely do it as such. I'm just pointing it out as something as weird. Also,
Sure.
I guess maybe they could have tinkered with that a bit in the remake. Like, again, not get rid of the old puzzles, but maybe replace them with, more plot narrative puzzles.
A small car with intricately carved insignia is recovered from the scene of Simon's murder. Perhaps the murderer dropped it when fleeing the scene. And
don't get me wrong, I still enjoy this game.
Sure.
It's just... It's mainly just about an early installment
weirdness, yeah.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Again, well, when it comes to this game, again, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just that you can definitely, when you compare it to the sequels, it definitely does have the early installment weirdness aspect to it. It's just everyone who was present at the crime. I believe we're missing Ramon, sir.
Ramon.
Okay, looks like we just found someone suspect. Why is he not here?
Where is he and what on earth is he doing? Matthew, fetch Ramon at once.
You might have been able to catch him if you...
To be honest, my lady, thinking about it, I've not seen Ramon for a few hours now. Convenient disappearance. What? Don't tell me he was murdered as well. It is a possibility, actually.
How did you know it was a murder?
No, hold on a moment. He's a suspect too. Well, he's just spitballing. Perhaps he fled the scene of the crime. But there's two options. He either fled the scene of his crime, or he got murdered too.
Where could he be at a time like this? What if the murderer caught Ramon too?
It is a possibility, yeah.
How dashes this isn't good.
Okay, things are heating up, so let's see if I can find some...
One of them fallen asleep in the middle.
Who's falling asleep? I don't...
Matthew.
Well, Matthew is awake.
Oh, his eyes are wide open.
Yeah.
Maybe he's one of those kinds of guys who sleeps with his eyes wide open. Wait a moment, Luke.
Yes, Professor?
There's something I'd like to discuss with Lady Dahlia. It shouldn't take very long at all.
Yeah,
do you think she's the killer
we don't get sidetracked by another puzzle.
The cat was the real killer.
No comment. Wait, where did
You're not
Lady
denying it.
Dahlia go?
Yeah, she was here just a moment ago, actually. I believe my lady has retired to the adjoining room to relax on her own. Ah, okay. We'll just go there. She's a strong woman, but it's only natural she'd need to rest after a terrible event like this. Well, that's understandable.
Sure.
Very well then. Would you please let her know that I have something I'd like to talk to her about?
Yes, please, Matthew, if you don't mind. But of course, Professor. Please wait here.
Lady Dahlia might act like an ice queen, but I guess even she was shaken by today's events.
Why are you smiling about this, Luke?
I know something.
Luke, if you ever wish to become a true gentleman, you'll need to start showing a little more sensitivity. Like, stop smiling.
Why are you smiling?
There you go. Then, well, that's the thing. That's the thing, Deji. Most of the time, Layton's smiles are just neutral smiles. That kind of smile where it's not so much that he's happy about something; it's more so that he's just a default expression of his, basically. My lady will see you now.
Oh, good. I get to solve puzzles.
Just head back through that doorway on the left. Well, he does love puzzles, actually, and there's even a prequel game that actually explains where his love of puzzles came from, actually. So.
Is he the type of guy that will always do the crossword puzzle every morning?
Probably.
Let me describe. Well, hold on. This is important, actually, so I'll tell you later.
Lady Dahlia, I have a deep suspicion this murder is connected to the mystery of the golden apple.
It is a very well, it's a strong possibility, but not a certainty, necessarily.
It's too early to say for sure, but
yeah, exactly.
It's highly probable the two matters are linked.
I agree. It's still too early to say for sure.
And you think that Ramon is somehow involved in all this?
That is also a strong possibility, yes.
Potentially, yes. However, as of yet, we don't have enough information to draw any solid conclusions.
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you, Mr. Narrator.
Anytime.
I see. This is most disconcerting. If that's the case, I have a request for you, Professor. Find Ramon and bring him back to me.
Wait, didn't you just tell your servant to do it?
Well, actually,
it sickens me that I am considered a suspect in this brutal crime.
Well, Dwebs, two heads are better than one, right?
I mean, especially one of those heads is over 70.
I must prove my innocence at once. Ah, yes, someone named Dolly approving their innocence.
Does it look like he? Does it look like he has? I mean, does it look like he has the stamina to wander around at this point? I do wish.
Looks may be deceiving.
Ask around the village to see what we can find.
You'd be surprised. There are plenty of older people that have. You'd be surprised. There are plenty of older people that are very still physically apt to do plenty of things.
Heck, my granddaddy could still swim incredibly fast with somebody on his back in his...
Chatterfree, the missing servant. Colm sent Mr. for clues about Ramon's disappearance. Alright then, let's do that. No, not yet. Later.
The demonic cat.
Alright, there's an end coin somewhere in here, if I remember correctly.
It's a lovely vase.
Yeah, it is a lovely vase. It is.
Yeah, it's a lovely vase.
Hold on.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't it pronounced vase, not vase?
Well, this is the UK. Well, this is the UK Dej. So, hello.
Look at this picture.
Look at
this that creepy music. What is it, Professor?
It's a picture. I just told you.
No. It's in reply to the look at this, Luke.
Oh, isn't that Lady Dahlia? She's holding a baby.
It's that thing people will usually have when you say, "Oh, look at this," and he's like, "Wait, what is it?" As in, like, you still don't know what it is that he's talking about.
That baby must be Baron Reinhold's daughter, then. Seriously, Luke, what is it? It's a picture.
Aurora was her name, wasn't it? Gosh, what a cute baby. I wonder what she grew up into. Lady Dahlia hasn't changed much, has she?
That is a good point, actually, yeah.
You know, Luke, they say that true beauty never ages.
Okay.
Depending on what it is, of course.
I suppose so, Professor. Press X to doubt. But even so, it makes me wonder. Maybe we can ask Lady Dahlia about it.
What the cure? What the secret of her eternal youth?
Maybe.
In the meantime, looking for end coins. There we go. Here's one. And yeah, posh curtains.
Those are some posh curtains.
It's curtains for you, Muggs.
They came from the golden area.
It's curtains for you, Muggsy. Curtains.
By the way, Professor. By the way, Professor, those look like buttercups. Make sure not to eat them.
Yeah, you
Why,
don't do that.
Possibly.
Pardon me, we happened upon an adorable picture of you and your daughter Flora a moment ago.
I beg your pardon?
I'm just asking, jeez! The picture of you holding a baby. The one in the next room.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you must be mistaken. I've never had any children.
Wait,
because
what?
They all because they all... No, it's because they all disappoint me. Huh?
Wanted the Pied Piper come along and take them or something. My apologies, madam. I must have been mistaken.
They're disowned.
Amnesia.
At any
The
rate,
Dark Descent.
time is of the essence here. Go and find Ramon and bring him back, would you?
Excuse me, madam. Didn't you ask me to do it?
If that's not Lady Dolly on the photograph, then who on earth could it be? Her twin sister Iris, of course.
I think we do well to ask the butler a few questions. Perhaps he can clear this up for us. Hey, Luke, do you remember that conversation we had with Mr. Wright about his ex-girlfriend?
But Professor,
Yes?
that chronologically that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Remember, we're filming. This is a remake of the first time we filmed this game. Remember?
So I guess technically
That
after
doesn't mean you can go off script.
So
ahead.
what? These. So what? I'm the producer. I can go off script anytime.
Here you go,
Oh,
Des. We're
no.
about to get an answer to your question, Des. Certainly, sir. How can I help you?
It's about the picture of Lady Dahlia upstairs. The one of her holding a small child.
Wow, I love how Layton isn't buying that wasn't Dahlia.
Well, I don't blame him, to be honest with you. Oh yes,
Yeah.
about that old picture.
Was it photoshopped or something?
Well, we live in an old-fashioned world, so no. That's not Lady Dahlia, I'm afraid. It's a picture of Baron Reinhold's former wife, Lady Viola.
Wait a
Aha!
minute. It's an old-fashioned world, and yet this is the same as Ace Attorney.
But I certainly understand
Yeah,
what
we're
that, you know.
actually heading
That's not
technology.
that. You know what that sounds like too.
We
That's
already
not.
went through these loops.
You know what that sounds like too. It really to name it after. It's like an Eternal Sonata character, basically. Which of course there was a viola in there. So.
So
Also,
it
isn't
turns
Ace Attorney the
guess,
game
yeah.
that tried to say that we were still using flip phones in 2019 or something?
So that
So-
photo isn't of Lady Dahlia, but
Twin
So get
sister.
this.
Yes.
So get this, the Baron just happened to marry somebody who looked exactly like his first wife. That's healthy.
And as Luke put it very
And
well,
creepy.
what are the odds of that?
is there a chance the two were relatives of one another?
Hey Luke, Layton, you ever heard of this thing called stunt doubles? They tend to look a lot like the people.
I've
Tell
never.
that to sorry, Jova. Tell them to one engaging for the climax
I've-
of Face Off.
I've never heard anything about that. It's just happened one day. The Baron arrived home, and at his side was Lady Dahlia. This was after Lady Viola died, of course.
Turns out Lady Dahlia was the one who killed Lady Viola, just so she could have his wealth.
I'm sorry to say that's all I really know about the matter.
Oh, you've contributed stuff. Not at all. You've been most helpful.
Well, he did tell us who the woman in the picture is. That's helpful, I will argue.
Everyone else was just giving you puzzles.
Yeah.
How odd! The more I hear, the stranger the whole affair starts to sound.
Oh,
You don't even know how.
oh Luke.
Lady Dahlia was added to your list of mysteries.
Just wait till you get older, Luke. Oh god, literally wait till you get older.
Well. When he gets older, he literally helps give birth to he helps a lady give birth. So,
Our little boy is
Baron
truly
Reinhold's
grown
late
up.
wife Viola is pictured cradling a baby in a photograph of Lady Dahlia's desk. While the two women seem to be complete strangers to each other, their resemblance to each other is too uncanny to be a coincidence. What's really going on here?
Again, maybe the Baron was just very unhealthy and he literally paid money to find somebody who looked
'Cause-
exactly like his old
He
wife.
has a type.
Trust me.
Either that or someone underwent really extreme plastic surgery.
Considering the appearance of maybe they went for a Henry the Hate vibe.
oh,
maybe. I
there's
don't know.
Claudia. What are you doing here, Claudia?
Oh, it's the Hellspawn.
Oh, those are
Please
Simon's
be
glasses. Claudia, why do you have Simon's glasses?
Hmm?
Ladies and gentlemen,
I meowed at him.
Go ahead,
Of
They're,
course.
they're shiny.
Fury. Yeah, there you go. Claudia
Oh, very good,
became
yeah.
male now for some reason.
These are
But,
These are Simon's glasses!
Dear God!
Look at that!
dear God,
Completing
Professor!
each other's sentences!
Dear God, Professor, we've solved it! Claudia killed Simon!
Alright,
How on
wait
earth
there.
did they end up here? Oh my god! Claudia murdered Simon!
Is she right? You still want to try to argue that cats don't have any, that really have souls?
Actual clue in the investigation. It's best that we took these to Inspector Shelby.
Okay, I vote to eject Pedro.
Ooh.
You can't eject me. This is my playthrough.
Depends.
Inspector, take a look at these.
Gotta have a look at this cliche.
Why are we quoting syllables at this point? These glasses belong to Simon. We found them out in the garden. The cat helped us. We
The
found them
cat
on the cat.
returned.
What the? I imagine they simply fell off the body when it was being carried out of the village.
Huh.
Well, they
weird
wrapped him up in
placement
a
to
body
fall
bag
off.
though or something.
That is a good point. Besides, if you have enough time to manage the village lost and found,
Oh.
shouldn't you be searching for the Reinhold inheritance or whatever it is you're supposed to be doing?
I think this is a bit more important than a bloody inheritance dispute, you arsehole.
Of course, if you continue to interrupt my investigation, I have some ideas about what you can do.
But you've not been doing anything.
Well, that
No,
should...
no,
Kiss my ass.
sure. He's been standing around, grumbling, and investigating the scene to his best. Of course he's been doing something.
My sincerest apologies, Inspector.
Well, Yoshiroi, as you already know, that's your first hint to what
I
exactly is
don't
going
like
on.
that Chelmy one bit. He makes me want to yank on his face.
Say,
He reeks of smoke and he's so full of himself. The way he treats you, Professor, it's just too much.
Luke, calm down. Just because someone's an arsehole doesn't can rant about it all day. And,
I know,
okay,
I hang out with you.
Right now, we have other priorities. Let's go around and find Ramon and I'll pretend to hear that.
Because everyone loves Ramon.
Okay.
Is
All
this
right.
a new spin-off show or something that I don't
Okay, so at this
know?
point we're...
So, Ramon.
So at this point we just
Maybe.
need to explore and ask around.
Oh, it's you.
Hey Agnes,
What's
wait.
up, okay?
Hey. Yes,
Going
Dips?
to ask the Grim Reaper's sister.
Look at you fretting away there. Whatever's the matter?
Actually, come to think of it, I think this Agnes character is pretty sus too.
Sorry to trouble you, but have you seen Ramon around here? He was here until just a while ago.
Because it tends to be the old kind of lady sometimes as well.
No, I can't say I've seen him today, which is strange considering how often he sneaks off on the job.
Maybe he figured out that you're figuring him out went another way?
But enough of that.
This is another puzzle, I swear.
I hear you're quite an ace with puzzles.
Ace puzzle solver.
Would you mind helping me out with a puzzle I've been mulling over? Yeah, pretty much.
know.
yeah.
This is an
Ace
investigation.
detective. And I'll never catch on.
Oh, right now we're sort of in the middle of something. But if you insist...
Layton, just say no.
Like, you can't say no, Layton.
Well,
It's a mandate from Akira Hino. I have to do
Well,
75 of these things.
well, Deji. Well, actually, Deji. One of the Layton spin-off, Layton Brothers, is pretty much the Ace the Ace Detective game we never got, basically.
I mean, isn't that basically the investigations games when you get down to it?
No,
not really.
It's different from the investigation games.
I'll explain in a moment. Okay. Have you heard of one-line puzzles? I love these. The idea is to place your pen to paper and draw a shape without lifting your pen from the paper or retracing any part of the line. You can, however, cross lines. Now that you're familiar with the concept, look at all the 4 pictures below. One of them cannot be drawn in with one line. Which one is it? Yeah, this is, again, another classic type of puzzle. Because one-line puzzles are literally this. A drawing that you can draw without taking your pen off the paper and without retracing lines. So, which one is it, you guys?
One of them, I don't know.
Which of the... Well, you just have to look at the drawing dibs. Okay, would I be able to draw this with just one line. As in not taking the pen from the paper.
Remember, you can
maybe the top right one.
There you go. It's the house.
Here's my answer.
It's actually very simple to tell when you take a look at this. Hold on, I'll explain in a moment. There you go. Okay. There's actually a very easy way to tell whether or not a given picture has been drawn in one stroke. This method will be revealed to you after you solve one more of these riddles, because there's 3 different types of one-line puzzles. Basically, Dwebs, you'll notice that, look at that house, that it has crosses on each of the 2 sides. You cannot actually draw that cross and continue drawing the rest of the thing without actually taking the pen off the paper. It's actually...
retracing.
Or retracing, what he said. The basic point is, you can't draw that particular house the way it's shown in here, without breaking at least one of the 2 conditions. So
Also, I like how nowadays Pedro is taking a bit of a cue from my Layton playthroughs and is, showing some of his work on the notepad. That's nice.
There's some fine work there. I was stuck on this puzzle for I don't know how long.
That's one of the easier ones, ma'am.
You there, boy.
She's old.
That is true. That is true. I just had a terrible vision of you running into trouble tonight.
Thank you.
So be careful out there, alright?
What boy is she talking to?
That's
cool
not
story.
That's not ominous at all, is it?
Well, that was a welcome piece of news.
You really hate this town that much, Luke?
But don't worry about me, because I don't get scared easily.
Luke, you weren't even mentioned in the series.
Luke, your knees are trembling.
You got
No,
they aren't.
the Robopop here.
They're straight because I can't move them. No, we literally cannot move them.
Well, look at the bright side, Luke. At least, unlike original trilogy Phoenix, you have legs.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, the most we see of Phoenix, he has is either behind the desk, or we only see him from the waist up when he's not.
At least in that case, it's implied. Fire Emblem, Fire Emblem Awakening has characters who you can clearly see they don't have feet. So
yeah, no, it's like, well, what were they? Did they see Rob Liefeld's feet and just decide to give up on joining them altogether?
Who knows? Who knows?
All right. See you for the next part where we continue to search for Ramon.
See ya.
Yeah.